Mic check, mic check. Morning Masters Podcast, your host, Maine, of course. Got a special guest on the other side of me. I'm going to introduce myself real quick to the people.
Rob, our mentor from Hephzibah.
How you doing, man?
What's good, man?
I know we got some things to talk about. I know people probably know the situation and all that stuff, but you mentioned you from Hephzibah. So first, before we get into anything, I wanted you to give a background on yourself, like what sport you played when you graduated and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, man. I graduated in 07. Started off playing basketball. Came in like I didn't play middle school ball because I went to Glen Hills Middle at the time. So
You went to Glen Hills Middle, and then you went to
Yeah.
Hephzibah?
Yeah. I was pretty much using grandma's address.
Got you.
Stuff like that out there in Bellamede, Terrace Manor.
Okay.
So I grew up in that area pretty much, but stayed in Hephzibah, or technically Blythe. So
Got you.
So, McRae was at Glen Hills Middle. 7th grade year got cut. 8th grade year, made it to that second cut, didn't make it. And then, Mama was like, got to use the actual address, so I was on for Hephzibah at the time. So that's where I pretty much kind of started off, 03, 04, right there in Hephzibah.
So you went to Hephzibah. So you played with let me see people you play with Kurt at all?
Yeah, Curtis Brown, he came out in 06. I played with actually mainly the guys that from 06, because any guys ahead of that, my freshman, sophomore year, we had guys that was pretty competitive, like, Brian Wilcox, Jesse Black,
You're a beast.
Cordell Horton. You had guys like Reggie Hughes, Tavares Hall, Rent Sherrill, Lascelles Brimby, Katron Gainey. So you had guys really ahead 2 years ahead of me. So, Coach Klofferstein, Coach K at the time wasn't, if you wasn't really nice like that, you wasn't seeing no burn on the wood like that.
So I don't know if this is true, but I heard that you were good in track. Did you play track? Did you run track?
Yeah. Pretty much I ended my running career number 1 in the city, number 2 at state.
In the state of Georgia.
In the state of Georgia.
See, when I heard that, I didn't know, but I started thinking. I said, well, it might have been true because the person that said, it was Mike actually.
Yeah.
Mike, he said I don't remember from basketball, but he said I know in track he was that nigga.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
He said he's made front page and everything.
Yeah. So what happened with that was, man, there was this other kid from Greenbrier at the time, and I think he was like a junior, but he was like in this band or something like that. So it was his first year. But, I started in my sophomore year, and that was to stay on the basketball team for conditioning.
Right.
I just so happened to turn out being great at running, and kind of had fun with it at some point, not really taking it serious how I should have.
At the time, did you like track more or basketball more? Like, what would you like? Your sport, your heart was in.
My heart was in basketball.
Got you.
But it wasn't just running in basketball. I actually started out playing baseball.
Okay.
And
not to be funny, but your last name is Armenta, so
Yeah,
I'm expecting
yeah.
a little baseball there. I ain't gonna lie, I'm expecting a little baseball there.
Yeah. Pretty much, Curtis, we pretty much kind of like off the Fort Gordon days. That's where I got my buns up really. Over there with Don Perry and Mac, Big Mac. Them people who know them guys, they very respected. But other than that, man, like, compete with guys like Kurt, Jamal Quayton,
Right.
From West Side, and guys of that nature on this side of town or uptown. We had some good battles with guys coming up, so that's where I come in at.
Well, so before I get into the Hephzibah thing, let's talk about the track for just for a second.
Yeah.
Now, track is also, I feel like I feel like track, the sport track in the state in Augusta, but the state of Georgia, but I'll say Augusta, and Hephzibah had a lot in common with like being overlooked, left out rather.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's like you being real good in track. You can get scholarships in track just like you can get in basketball. But I feel like we as in like I guess basketball players or basketball people that love sports, but say we love sports, but we only like football and basketball rather. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't give track the love that it might deserve because I think track is a very tenuous and like tedious sport to play.
It is. Very mental, because if you're training your body, if you're doing what you need to do, the body gonna follow. It's just pretty much 90% mental at this point. So
ain't no luck in track really. Like you can't
you
really luck up and just
you
be
can't.
sniping a race.
Like,
You know
if you
what
think
I'm
you
saying?
gonna out sprint somebody or out long distance somebody, if you ain't training, it's gonna show.
And I feel like, not saying basketball is lazy sport. Basketball is one of the sports, like, just like we just saw in the Clash, like, people, like, I say Jarrell, from what I hear, he don't even train, like, a lot, but since he just naturally talented, but he can wake up, go shoot some three, make some three. He did, it wasn't free throws, but I ain't gonna get into that.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah, exactly, but track is not the same way.
It's not. It's not. You gotta, your approach mentally is different.
That might be a harder sport than basketball, honestly, depending on we talking, like, the level what you talking about playing.
You know, yeah, you could say that because with basketball, your mindset has to be in tune not just with yourself, but with the game and others. That's with energy involved in that. With track, you know, it's a battle within yourself.
What did you do in track this home? Sure, like I don't even know. I'm one of them people that overlook it, so I
For
don't know
me,
what the positions is. What's the game? It's something long jumping, relay race.
Yeah,
what's the stuff
you got your sprint events like your 100, 200, 400s. Then you got your mid distance like your 800 mile. You know, I was a beast at that too. I think I ran my best in a 800. I think I ran like a 141, 138, 141-ish. And then like the 3200, I ran like a 340.
Yeah, race against anybody from Josie, like Daggett, Danny Daggett.
Yeah, nah, Daggett, Danny boy, man. I'm gonna be honest. Him being on the bottom, dude can go. As
a black person, to be honest with you, that's the only thing I know about track is Danny Daggett and Augusta, because AYA from Josie bigged them up by it.
I can say this.
And a guy named Tavares.
I can say this. My my junior year, I went. We had state in Jefferson, Jefferson, Georgia.
Shout out to Jefferson County.
In Jefferson, Georgia.
Jefferson, Georgia.
Yeah, Jefferson, Georgia.
Okay.
And that 100 came up. And, usually as a runner, I like to definitely support guys from Augusta. So watching him from a distance, from like back home track events and stuff like that, you kind of admire it and respect it, because a guy like Danny was that was really God given. That was God given. I don't know if he trained hard or not. I'm pretty sure he did, being an athlete, but you could tell he was something special, man. Like I think that guy went out there and ran like a 10-2.
15th Street made, man.
Hey,
it's different over there a little bit.
Hey, if it weren't for Mom Dukes, because of my cousins and stuff, I probably would have went to 15th Street. I have an auntie, 10 years older. She graduated in 95, and that was around the time I think they won state.
Yeah, they sure did.
Jamal Tate, Jamal Tate, Pee Wee. That's who I pretty much was up under a lot. So I was following a lot of Josie basketball up until middle school. So.
Okay. So, speaking of, so with Hephzibah, right? Like the school you go to, Hephzibah. How does it? You went there, so you tell me from, I guess, first person view. How does it feel? Because I feel like y'all are a school kind of like similar to Cross Creek, but Cross Creek right now are coming out their shell. This one state too, so they coming out their shell. Y'all are a school that's kind of overlooked on a talent level, just a sports level sometimes. I'm not saying schools don't come to that school prepared to play and prepared to have a battle, at least back then, like 05, 06, 07.
Yeah.
But be as it may, when you thinking about greats or like legends or quote unquote ghosts we talk about, or how all them Clash interviews I had, you rarely heard a lot of Hephzibah names. It's obviously two, Curtis being one that they might say, but I would say overall, Hephzibah is a school that's kind of overlooked when it comes to talent and just sports-wise.
Yeah, overlooked a lot. I would say we have had our years where, we've been on top.
Yeah, I got a lot of successful years.
Yeah, even in the last decade, we might not have one region and stuff like that.
Yeah, y'all been
yeah, we like the football team kind of, we used to be, I would say like my 4 years, my freshman year we were pretty good. And after that, it kind of like,
Hephzibah keep an okay football team, but I will say that y'all probably, I don't know the math, but for all the people I know that make it to the NFL, y'all got a lot of those people that
Oh yeah, a
play
lot
in
of
NFL.
products. Yeah, shout out to James, Big James.
And that's what matters, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, stuff like that. You know, shout out to the girls too. You know, Koya Terry, you got Charlotte Styles, Jaleesa Morris, Cammie Phillips. You know, she kind of like, you know, had her little stint with Hephzibah and then went to Laney. So it's all respect.
That damn Laney, boy, I tell you.
Yeah, man. You know, it go from Hephzibah to Laney to Laney. You know, but it's all respect because why? It's all from the same city, man. So it's all.
You mentioned some women that's now like, so like, how you feel about Hephzibah? Because I feel like Hephzibah, just boys basketball, get overshadowed by the girl because the girl's always good. It seemed like every year they always good. They always got something up their sleeve.
I don't know how Coach Lofton did it, man. But he, you know, you had some good products always coming out of the middle school, and then just because of Lofton and then just because of the winning tradition, I guess, you know, a lot of ladies wanted to come over there. But then again, on the flip side of things, you know, Coach K. Coach K was good enough to create teams.
Who's Coach K?
Coach Klofferstein.
Is that the white coach?
Yeah. He started off at Butler, came over to Hephzibah.
So I ain't trying to be that guy, but
How
I do my stuff, I have to say it. Cause I heard different stuff about him. So I heard he was a good coach, and I heard he wasn't a good coach. Like, what kind of coach was he? Was he good? Heard he had some. He was strict.
Overall,
made y'all run track sometimes.
I would say my first 2 years, he was the coach that'd be in you. You know, some of the fans of Hephzibah, some of the parents may not have liked the approach, but I can say for me, it's helped me with my approach with life because, you know, when something hard or tough happens, you know, I can't be having that like, oh man, it's gonna be all right. Like, you know, that's how my dad was. But overall, you know, Coach K, there was more good in Coach K than bad. I can say that, okay. But you know, the good does outweigh the bad. So,
I mean, going back to the girls thing, overshadowing. How did that feel like? Especially because I don't think a lot of I'm gonna say males feel that because when you talk about basketball, right? I always say, and I hate to be this guy, but I always say that the reason why the varsity boys play last is because they want anybody to stay.
Yeah.
That's what I always say, right?
Yeah.
Did y'all have the flip side of that?
I'm gonna be honest. So I'm gonna be honest, man. I think that probably happened once. But that was like during the winter, you know, when it's like a dead period, like where not a lot of people come out because it's too cold.
Yeah.
That's how it was on our side of town, at least I can say. But that's never happened, man.
Brothersville Road?
Yeah, Brothersville Road. The boys always played last, whether if it was whoever we played.
No, I think I know that, but I'm saying like, did people ever like leave y'all game once the girls played?
If it was a game, people stayed.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna be fair about it. If we were getting smacked, you know, people left. You know, but
you know how like when you're playing, sometimes the girls' game is not full. It's not full yet. But by the time the boys warming up and coming out, the gym packed.
Hey, usually it's like that. But the tradition at Hephzibah, and it's just all respect to the ladies, you know, like Coach Lofton helped build a tradition over there where people wanted to come out and see that.
Gotcha.
When 05 came, just like, you know, 15th Street in 05, they were around here wreaking havoc. Hey, the girls went 33-0 our way.
Yeah, I forgot.
They went 33-0 that way. They went 30. Hey,
such a winning school. I be thinking she was Laney, bro.
They bust the clock on, you know, Lumpkin Street on Lumpkin Road. You know, just say, hey.
No buttons, what's going on?
Hey, I'm just giving Hephzibah their flowers, man. That's all.
Shout out to Hephzibah. I think I was talking to I think Auburn. She was telling me that one time or something. I'm like, hey, chill out.
Hey, see stuff like that, man. You know that's what it's all about, though. If you can talk that stuff and you know and not have nothing personal about it, you know.
Right.
When it comes to clash of the classes, you know. It's a good thing you can meet and greet and bring up old stuff about stuff like that.
So I before I get to the class part, I do want to stay a little bit. I also wanted to ask you about the event and what you thought about the outcome of it too, which I think is dope because I haven't spoken about that with nobody yet. So okay, so and I know they can't beat y'all. And were the girls the better team when you played at all? Was it ever any season where the girls were the better team? Just ranking wise, obviously they can't beat y'all.
I would say Kurt in them senior year, my junior year, we were kind of, you know what I'm saying, because at that time it was just Cammy and Jaleesa as seniors, really, and Keontae Cook, you know, they were like the seniors and kind of like helped toting the team a little bit. But overall, I think we had a more dominant year that year. I think going 21-9.
Yeah, I did lose the Butler, right?
No, man. I think we split the series. I think we split the series.
No,
I think we split the series.
Y'all sure did. I think that y'all beat them at Hef and they beat y'all at Butler. Okay, y'all say that. I ain't go to Hef again. I was new down here. I wasn't going to away games. I never knew Hef was that until my brother played basketball. I promise you.
Yeah.
Speaking to the lump, because I had to throw some stuff in there.
Yeah.
Try to diss my boy, my people.
Hey,
but
respectfully, you know, the last alumni, y'all got us, but that was when everybody was at, you know, they kind of already went home. But
True.
I will give y'all that.
Don, my brother, shout out to my brother. He dropped his 2000 career point at Hephzibah, so shout out to him. He blessed y'all with that. You know
hey man, it's basketball, man. You know, we got guys too that done drop 15, you know, 2,000 on, you know, 1,500, 2,000.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Not in Butler Gym though.
Yeah.
Once we hear about it, it's a wrap. Now I don't know. I'm playing. I don't know. All right. But with the Hephzibah, like just your era alone, because the Clash is kind of primarily that era. It's from we'll say 2000, because 90s right now you're probably a little too old to play. Some of them probably can't play. I don't know, but the Clash usually be people around the 2000s to kind of like 2015, 2016 era, because 9 times out of 10, if you graduated a couple years ago, you're still in school, you can't play right now.
Yeah.
If you still playing, if you playing at that level that we talking about. So Hephzibah, I went to y'all's alumni game a couple years ago. It was at Hephzibah. I think y'all played each other.
Okay.
I'm the one who made that video of Kurt, his highlight tape where he missed every shot that I put on there. Shout out to Kurt, that's my guy. One of my favorite players. It was one of them things you were sad to see, like, yo, come on, because I'm only expecting the Kurt I saw play.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting Daddy Kurt no more. You know what I'm saying? He got a kid now. He probably ain't playing. He not in shape. And I think he was moving as if like he was still that Kurt, but the ball wasn't coming with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The form was there, but it was too off, too strong. And I just think that was issue he had. So, but with y'all, you think y'all have that issue? Or not the issue rather, but you think that y'all have a good enough alumni, a strong alumni, men-wise? Even if you bring Koy in, whatever, just to compete with some alumni that's out there now?
Now, that year you recorded my guy Kurt. You know, that was the year I wasn't able to make it because I moved out of Augusta in 2012 in Arizona. So, you know, I got some, you know, I was out there for 8 years, came back here. But, you know, yeah, man, Kurt, that wasn't Kurt. That just wasn't Kurt. But, you know, the year before, you know, when he put up, I think, 25, maybe 30 against Laney. Mm-hmm. They only beat us, by 8, I think.
I can't tell
if I'm not mistaken. Game, Kurt went off. He couldn't nobody hold Kurt. They couldn't hold him then. They can't hold him now. So, you know, shout out to my dog Kurt. But to answer your question, yeah, man, Hephzibah does have alumni that can go with anybody. Like we was prepared this year too, but you know, we'll get to that. So,
and I think one of the dope things about the Clash is even though the Clash is something that David and them be throwing, I think they sparked a trend within the cities to have these alumni games, to kind of keep people in shape. But I think the thing that y'all should use them for now is to compete in the Clash. That's gonna be every summer. It seems like during homecoming time, that's kind of where you can gauge where you at. Do you think that y'all are ready to or you think that y'all got enough power to have a game with another school at the at homecoming time?
Yeah, most definitely. If we can have guys available, you know, like Calvin Rowland, he's a big. Devin Stowers, he's a big. You know, Robbie L, you know, he made the team, but he didn't get any runs like that because, you know, around that time it was more so head wasn't in the game like that.
Okay.
So just to name a few guys and guys that's not even in my era a little bit, because in my era you got a Elijah Smith, he played big and small forward. You know what I'm saying?
High school, it happens.
Yeah, it happens. So you had Mario Hutchinson, Cordell Horton. Oh man, you had man. Some probably still playing now. But I try and do my best to try and keep in touch with the guys that I can, even the younger group. So, but yeah, man, just to name, that was just to name a few bigs going on wings and guards. Yeah, man, we got them for days too, just like anybody else.
You mentioned somebody. You said, I don't know who it was you just mentioned, but you said they didn't get a lot of play because of the guards y'all did have or whatever. But Mike he mentioned this, and I think it's a slogan they was using, and they were saying like just got good. So is there any players from Hephzibah that you feel like wasn't what they are now? Because like you got Mike from Glen Hills, who people say he played basketball, his heart was always there. He just wasn't as good as he is now. But look at the game yesterday, he was taking over. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't in high school.
I'll say. Now, if I'm gonna speak for myself first, I'll say I am a late bloomer. But I'm not gonna say I just got good because certain, I would say my name. I'm not gonna say it rings bells, but if certain people in certain areas know about me.
What would you look at as back then? A shooter?
I'll say a shooter, guy that got a motor. Okay. Never like a rabbit, never starts running.
Track, so of course.
Yeah, so I had that advantage.
Okay. But that's dope because you saying about yourself. I know how people watch this stuff. They always comment and say stuff, so I don't want to be like, oh but I'm glad you said it for yourself. So we good.
Yeah. But you do got guys. I'm not even gonna say just got good because you know what I'm saying. You do got guys that was 10, 15 years, 20 years ago that was good, but you got some too that just fall off because they just don't want to maintain. Mm-hmm. But then you do got guys that never fell off. And it's not that they just got good. It's just that because they maintained and stayed the course, their game developed. And their craft became...
They look a lot better, but they've been like that.
Exactly. Okay. So, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I was this and I was that. But when you played against me, I was coming with it. So...
All right. So, now, what I do want to say is, like I told you off air before we actually started, the first mention of Hephzibah not even being in the clash actually came from, I want to say, Seth. I'm not sure how he said it, how he worded it. At the time, if anybody watching, you remember the Seth interview was the first one we dropped, was the first one we did. It wasn't the first one we dropped, though. It was the first one we did. Yeah. We dropped that second or third, I believe. I think we dropped the third, which is wild. Now I think about it. But it was 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. Because the goal was to do 30 minutes with everybody. Yeah. It was to talk a little bit, talk a little... and talk about the clash. That was really the formula. Yeah. But as we started talking to people, we started getting these backstories, and I got Marcus Curry and Ricky McGee talking about them losing the state game, which I don't think it's even documented them ever talking about it. You might know about it, but it's not documented. Yeah. You don't even know they was like that unless you know them, in the past,
Exactly.
So I got a lot of feedback on that. I was like, cool. So I knew from then on, I got to kind of make it. I can't just limit myself 30 minutes with everybody.
Yeah.
So that's why Seth was so short. But like I said, within the Seth one is when I found out because they mentioned something about Hephzibah, and I'm assuming, of course, it was in joking fashion that Seth did it, but I wasn't aware at the time, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh yeah, because Kurt, everybody know I'm a big Kurt fan, so I was like, yeah, what's going on with Kurt? And I think even David was just like, yeah, chill, next year. David always give you the political answer. He's not gonna like dish you and like that. He's just gonna give you the answer or just like push you to the side like, hey, we ain't gonna do that right now, because they branded themselves a certain way. Yeah. And I know the message I got. Okay, cool. So then after when I kind of found out a little bit about what went on, I was like, oh, okay, so I'm a chill because I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to bring it up. So the first mention of it, really, if you think about the sequence, was in the Seth one. Yeah. But then we did Marcus Curry that same night. Then the next day we did Walt and Mike. They brought it up again. Yeah. Now when they brought that one up, if you remember, that one came out before the Seth one. I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I can't tell you, but I think it was before the Seth. So it looked like it brought up one time and then again, but it's out of sequence if you think about it. Yeah. But if you remember in that one, I think I told him, I don't know if I told him chill or I said tread lightly. I think I said tread lightly. Yeah. And the reason being is because you had already hit me, I'm not mistaken, or so, I don't know.
I hit you after.
After that one.
Yeah.
So since I knew
Yeah.
what happened with the 7, I said, hey, cool, I ain't going to bring it up because I don't edit nothing. I'm not taking nothing out. I don't believe in that. I feel like if you say it, you should just keep it on there. I don't care.
Stuck.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's how I feel. So when you hit me, I was like, okay, it's for real, because I didn't know that. And then how Walt said it, I still didn't know the whole story until afterwards, because I guess how he said was more so what happened. Yeah. Like how Walt actually, went on and on about it. So I guess you can give me your initial or how it came about, but initially, were y'all supposed to be in the Clash? I asked that first. Yeah. Okay. So we'll get into that, who plays y'all and stuff later. Okay, y'all supposed to be in the Clash. So what give me your rundown of what went on, of why y'all weren't in the Clash.
Overall, it was miscommunication.
Okay.
Miscommunication. The whole weekend, you know what I'm saying, I kind of watched it a little bit, and it was a good turnout. Respectfully, definitely. That's what it should be, No hate against David or nobody like that, like it was miscommunication, but it's just I like to address the subliminals.
Yeah, of course.
And then the narrative that's out there, not blaming nobody, just, you know what I'm saying, it started here. I like to, you know what I'm saying?
And like I told you, I'm always like 100 with everything, so like obviously my platform, nobody tell me how to do it, but I always try to keep everything 100 with everything we do. So if something do start here, I don't mind giving somebody a platform to kind of address their piece, because then that's one-sided. Yeah. And then you got people that speculate, and some people don't, like I said, they don't necessarily hear about Hephzibah, so they hearing it, laugh, and keep moving. Yeah, but then you know the other side of it as well.
Exactly. And for me, to get what I'm here is, for Hephzibah and the respect that, you know what I'm saying, that we always don't get, right. But, the respect is given, but it's like, it's like throwing rocks and hide your hand. Like, it's given, but you be like, yeah, but then, you hear it from somewhere else different. Right. So, but overall, the tournament, man, like respectfully, man, I'm happy it turned out the way it did. Shout out to Lena. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Shout out, like, because, you know what I'm saying, understanding me coming from an athlete, and then having a competitive spirit, guys put in work. You can tell certain guys really in the gym. You can tell guys that take time.
They can't win. They can't win. They weren't playing.
They weren't playing. But I will say, exceptions. I think that needs to be across the board, overall. Not point fingers, just putting it out there, because understanding what's taking place in this city, which is a good thing. Right. Because, we already got crazy stuff going on in the world. No need in trying to add more confusion to it when, somebody's trying to build a brand or trying to shine light on the past, present, and the future. True. So,
well, let me ask you this then. Because I kind of know, like I said, a little bit about the stuff that led up to y'all not being in the tournament. And so I was thinking about players, and just everybody kind of changed schools, this, that, and third, somewhat like that, right? Yeah. And I started thinking. So do you think, and this is just your opinion, it don't have to be their rules or anybody's rules, but do you think that should a player be able to play for a school if they didn't graduate there, or do you think it's based on what they're known for? Because if that's the case. And I don't know. I'm gonna let you answer first for it. So what you think? You think it should be more so the school you're known for, the school you graduated from, like, cause you got some people that like let's say Kyle Doyle, he graduated from some school in Buford or something like that, right? Yeah. But we know him from Josie.
Yeah, he started off at Hephzibah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So he played 1 year at Hephzibah?
I think he played a year, maybe
2 years at Josie?
I think he played a year, and then I'm not quite sure, because he was after.
Good example then. So use Kyle. So who she play for then? She played for Hephzibah, Josie, or Buford?
Going by the rules. Going by the rules. You know what I'm saying? Rules state you got to graduate from that school. Okay. All right. Cool.
So he's not allowed to enter the Clash of the tournament. He just can't.
I'm not. Buford, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Unless Buford in it, to be fair, yeah. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't be in it, which I think he was, and then he wasn't. So
I don't know if he ever played in the Clash. He could have played in the Clash. I'm not sure. But I know, like, so mind you, alumni games are a little different because Joe's alumni game, they kind of they do their own thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's up to them. That's not a I don't know what production they want to go under now. But
this is all I'm gonna say. From the very beginning, Hephzibah didn't have no issues with nobody rosters, nobody whatever rules that was, you know what I'm saying? Because as a captain and being in this group, you know, like it is structure. You know what I'm saying? I can say that. So, you know, but you do have your ones that don't follow the rules all the time. You know what I'm saying? But I'll keep it at that. But with that being said, that's why I say, and you might have seen me post it, exceptions.
Yeah, I seen that.
You know, so with that being said, you know, all I can say is I had guys coming ready to play. We had Glen Hill's first round, 11 o'clock, June 26th. And, you know, and just unfortunately it didn't happen to go the way that we thought it probably should have went. But with that being said, you know, like we got scratched off that tournament. And, you know, that person on that team on the top of that list was Glen Hills. So with that being said, you know, like we got taken off.
So y'all didn't have a problem playing Glen Hills, though.
We didn't have a problem at all. We didn't have a problem at all.
It was just a player issue and the miscommunication amongst that, rather.
Yeah. Just not even going to go into far detail like that because I'm going to be honest, man. Like, my stilo isn't to come out here and what's already been discussed is to come out here and blab about it. You know what I'm saying? But to give a little insight on it, Hephzibah was ready. You know what I'm saying? And we still ready. With that being said, you know, homecoming around the corner.
So y'all trying to get
we trying to get at Glen Hills.
Y'all trying to play Glen Hills right
now?
They kind of upset right now.
Hey,
they don't play them.
That's
sure?
fine. That's fine. Hey, we need that energy.
I'll be honest with you though. I'll say this. Yeah, I'm trying to. I gotta get in the mindset of trying to like to not show. I don't like showing favoritism. I'm a big Curtis fan, so it's hard to do that. But I will say that watching Glen Hills play the very first game of the Clash and the last two, it was like night and day. And I was a little worried.
I was shocked. I was shocked that they even won by 2. You know, like, and I'm not even gonna lie. Hey, I had to work, man, over the weekend. So
it happens.
You know, money over everything at this point.
Definitely.
I got a little girl to feed. So
definitely.
But overall, you know, if it was Hephzibah in that, I think we would have been up probably 10, won by 15.
Yeah, that's
with what I had bringing. Yeah, with what I was bringing.
What you was bringing.
Yeah, with what we was bringing, like, you know.
But okay, so I know you in that. So I want to take y'all out of it. I want to take like the personal out of it. Y'all got past that, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Should y'all have a meeting and just kind of like revamp the rules and revamp like these exceptions so that everybody has like a even playing field? Because like you saying, I'm gonna keep using Kyle because I don't necessarily know him. Know of him, and I think so he's not, to me, my knowledge, he's not like into this whole thing. It's easy to use him. And now you're saying that he went to Hephzibah. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But playing at Hephzibah, playing at Josie, playing at Buford, should it be something like maybe all y'all vote on it? Should it be something like it should be a known thing? And that's why I asked you like how should it be? I know the rules are the rules, but let's say the rules didn't work, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Rules didn't work. So should y'all like revamp this and be like, hey, this is how we gonna do it? Because you look at somebody like I'm trying to think of a player.
Okay, I'll throw you a name. TC Fields.
TC. He went to Aquinas, He
finished at Aquinas.
So he did.
But 10, 11 where his most of his years was his first 3 was at Hephzibah.
So he did 1 year at Aquinas.
He did a year at Aquinas, from my understanding. He possibly 2, but from my understanding, he did 1.
Let's say it was 2. I don't know. I'm not sure.
We'll go. I'm always fair. Yeah, I'll say 2. I'll say 2.
You're a smooth guy.
Yeah.
So let's say it was 2, right? At that point, would it be a half and half? Should it be based on the successful part of his career? Should it be based on what he chooses, what he reps?
So I'll give you some meat here. I'll give you a little meat. TC, how can I put it? TC was He actually hit me about the tournament, and I was already thinking about hitting him. Understanding the rule wasn't applied yet.
Okay.
Because the year before that, he was supposed to come out, but I think it was around his birthday. So he rather, you know what I'm saying, he just had his baby, and I think, you know, in the family time like that, all right, cool, you know, understandable. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
shout out to TC, man. He brought a
big
too.
He
had a big 8 month old, man.
The rule, you know what I'm saying, that he could play, because I asked, you know, as a captain, try to be fair, you know, I don't want to cause no issues.
Right.
You know. It from my knowledge, from my understanding, as I can recall, you know, he had the green light to go. So, you know, doing the fair thing, asking, you know, a group of people.
So multiple.
Yeah, multiple, okay. multiple,
different leaders.
Yeah. Man, you know, mainly, you know, I guess they tired of it, blah, 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 whatever. But, you know, it's all agreed that he can. But, you know, overall, he couldn't. So that's what kind of sparked everything. And I just kind of wasn't going for the approach that was given. Got you. Yeah.
So, like I said, TC. So that's why I feel like, and the reason I'm saying this, I feel like it's a big deal because, shout out to David and them, I feel like it's a big event. And I feel like it means a lot because a lot of people, I'm gonna just say us because we all won. A lot of us, I'll be honest with you, that basketball I seen this weekend, that was like some of the best basketball I've seen in a long time.
It's good. Augusta got good basketball, man.
When I put that clip out that I put out like 25 minutes. The reason why I put full game experience because the game was so good that I couldn't give y'all clips of overtime. I need y'all to give y'all the whole thing.
Every game was good. I didn't see Thompson and Butler get dunked, but
what's up?
I'm just, you know, I'm just all for fun.
Nah, but for real, but that's the beauty of this whole clash, this whole thing, because there is gonna be a school that slip up or that don't come play the A.
Like last year, I mean the year before it was Glen Hills. You know, this year so happened to be Laney. Yeah. Just the narrative of how everything played out happened to be a good one because it was a rematch.
But I like the fact that it's, even though I know David hated it, I know they all hate it because they don't like dealing with it, but I like the commotion and the problems that all come with it. I like that because in real high school basketball, when y'all playing for real, like that's how it be sometimes.
That's how it is. That's how it is. Because
it's the same way.
You know, I my 3 years being back, you know, I got the opportunity to help out with Coach Parks. You know, great coach, man. Shout out to Coach Sean Parks, man.
Yeah,
but he's at Josie, 15th Street. So
back at Josie.
Yeah,
back at home.
Yeah. So, but you know, I kind of picked up more work where I'm at. You know, just kind of more responsibility. So I couldn't be there this past season, but you know, I've been in important situations where he's allowed me to help out.
Right.
So to see that behind the scenes in the system around the city, you know, that's an animal itself. So to know going into this weekend, it's a bunch of different schools. Now you're dealing with different personalities, different, you know, just egos, dealing with a lot of stuff. A bunch of egos. Definitely. So, you know, with that being said, I can understand the pressure that he had on his shoulders, not just dealing with his team, but a city event.
And the thing about David though, like I always I like it, but I wouldn't want to be in that seat. Is the fact that they tagged him to the mayor. Yeah. If you think about Augusta, when something wrong, they blame the mayor.
Hey, just like LeBron, right?
Definitely.
You know, like, hey, you winning, you get praised when you everything ain't going right, you to blame.
So like, and it's almost like, even though I know Glen Hill didn't win, right, but his team, they won, even though they went through what all they went through, whether it was a problem with Hephzibah, whether it was a problem with this, whether it was a problem with just anything that they had to overcome or work their way around. It was all worth it for a successful event. Yeah. Like, okay, cool. We got a successful event. Now, next time we got to work this. It's all learning curve. So, like, next time, this will be better. This approach will be better. This communication part will be better. They'll make sure this is taken care of. This is why I'm asking you now about the whole how to go about who can play for who, because that even as small as it sounds, it's a big deal because not everybody on the same page with that.
Everybody wasn't on the same page because the outcome showed that you know,
got egos, you got this. Like you mentioned TC. So, and I know for Christian, I know for Aubrey, people was like, yeah, I don't know because they still playing year round. They just came from this. because they come in a top game. They actually are better. Just got good. They got better.
I don't mean to say this. I don't mean to cut you off. Not that I don't mean to say this, but I don't mean to cut you off. But I had, not that I had, but we, Hephzibah, we had guys like Blake Bush, Elijah Smith, Kurt. You had me. You had Brian Wilcox, Darnell Smothers. You had
nice.
Wilbur Hines. He was a good guy coming out of Hephzibah. You had TC, and we had D Block, Devin Stowers. So we had us a good little squad coming in. I probably missed a name or two. And then we had Arthur Thomas, he had his time here at Hephzibah and then went to AU, and he was gonna head coach for us. So I felt like we were coming in, young in shape, confident. I said, hey, we got Glen Hill's first game. They ain't even, hey, let's go, let's lace them up.
Right.
So
but that's that basketball mentality anyway. It's like you don't care who you're in front of.
Yeah.
As long as you're playing, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You ain't worry about this, that, and third. You just want to play. But like I said, I feel like the mishap that was miscommunication, whatever the case may be. It's something that it's still, even though personally it's all resolved, it got to be resolved on a rule level, because now that and it's okay. Like I said, Hephzibah, I know you probably don't want to be that, but y'all was, let's say, the test dummy school, I guess, or for miscommunication. So now the rule can be put in place. Okay, we're gonna do this because, believe it or not, it's people that wanted to see how to play in the game.
Yeah,
it's people that would have rather have seen Hephzibah versus Glen Hill versus North Augusta. Granted, they did a good job.
I just wish I could have had, me and the person I had an issue with. Everybody probably know at this point. We did talk. It's grown men. So that person on a personal level needed to happen.
Definitely.
And it did. So respectfully, that's why it's nothing. I just wish that would have happened sooner.
But like
because
you said, it's everybody different. So y'all two different personalities, and y'all might not even speak on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So of course it's gonna be an issue because you might be saying something one way, he might take it another way.
Definitely,
and vice versa. So it's like
when it's through a text message, it could definitely get misconstrued.
You might barking on you, might talking all cats like he's yelling at me. There's a lot of different things that can happen. You know what I'm saying? So I respect it, and like I said, it's like I said, it's basketball. Basketball is a very competitive sport. Everything about it is competitive, and to be honest with you, like when you dealing with a event like this that the city gonna be buzzing about and talking about, you don't want to have. I'm gonna just use Butler. You don't have a performance like that where you do get beat, where it should have been more competitive.
Yeah.
Or you don't want to be like Townsend, you get beat by down 32-35 at some point. You got all the people out here watching. You want to have a squad that's gonna go compete.
Exactly.
So when you do the best you can to get it, and it don't work out that way, I can understand the emotion of being like, yo, like. This school, this, you know what I'm saying? That's automatically you're going to start thinking like that. So, y'all get that stuff straightened out. That hope, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's straight, like.
I'm talking about, not personally, I'm talking about, I still haven't, it's no rule yet still. So I need to know, I got to revamp. Man,
it's a lot of revamping.
I don't think y'all do it in here. Y'all need to come in here, we can all talk. I don't care like that, but we can all talk.
I know, all I know is, man, this summer, it was a bad taste in my mouth for my guys too as well. But overall, I think, just, having the talks that needed to have, it happened. We just looking forward to playing Glen Hills. That's what we wanted. Because, it seems like it comes down to him and his team, David and his team, because it's him and his team making all the decisions. So, I just want to put it out there. Like, I might see some stuff. How Hephzibah don't need that.
Right.
Hey, just like Westside, you got your Jamal Craytons and your Franks and your other, you know what I'm saying? You got guys that people really don't know, but know. But, you'll never know if you don't see them out there.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if y'all able to, and I think y'all can, I'll try to work my magic and get in that. Able to get a Glen Hills, Hephzibah, whether it's a homecoming. I think that's just the best thing to do is during homecoming time because you still want to be a star-studded event. You want people to be there. You know how to you play ball. Something about that crowd being there, rooting at this thing.
That
y'all can play right now, definitely speaking, but it won't matter because they know it's an exhibition. But you need to matter. You needed to be like, hey, we won this.
I know for me, let's say if hopefully it does happen, and if when it does happen, You know, like I'm not gonna be so focused on the crowd or whatnot. I don't care if it was 50 people or if it was 1,500 or 5,000. Like I'm there for a mission. You know, and it started off fun and games. Yeah, like, you know, it started off fun and games, but now it's like, all right, it's not about trying to prove I'm good or all this and that. It's just the simple fact about respect.
On that same note though, but as far as the alumni games and stuff, I will talk to David. I did think that he should be a part of some of the alumni games just because of the stuff he doing, the imprint he got on the city right now with what he doing. And that should somehow, some way work into like some standing somewhere with the class. I think that'd be dope.
For the most part, you know, David is in tune and tapped in with everybody when it's their alumni. I can't say, you know, he's at every alumni game.
Shout out to David.
Yeah, man. He is, you know, he is doing big things, and that's what it's about. It's for the city.
Yeah.
You know, and just how my stilo is, I'll never be to knock anybody that's doing anything for my city, because when I'm not in my city, you know, for example, in Arizona, they're like, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Hephzibah. Augusta. You know what I'm saying? At the end, it's Augusta. So,
right.
you know, overall, it ain't about, you know, whatever negativity amongst each other, especially when you trying to do something for your city. So, you know, like, again, shout out to David, but, you know, just some stuff does have to be revamped.
Well, I want to spend our last little minutes talking about this, though.
Yeah.
The outcome of the clash and stuff.
Yeah.
So we talk about the North Augusta. I feel like you saying like you feel like y'all being in that place playing that Glen Hills team, y'all win.
I'm not even gonna speak on North Augusta. They from South Carolina.
True enough. I will say they came out and played. They played a good game. They was up 5 with a minute. I don't know what was going on. They went in zone. I don't think people expected. I think that game kind of set the tone for the whole day. Cause I don't think people expected people to actually come really coach for real.
When I found out the score, I'm not even gonna lie, you know, I was like, by 2.
But that was
like by 2.
You like, remember back in the day when you were looking at paper and you'd be like,
it was by probably 40.
But remember, like, if the score was seemed close, you're like, damn, what happened?
Scored?
Like, who did do what? And that's kind of what it was in that end.
That's how, like, you know, when I first came back 3 years ago, you know, and I'm hearing like North Augusta girls, like they just went on a tear. So it's like, you like, what? So, you know, it's, you know, I know I talk my little ish here and there, but overall, as a basketball player, it's good to see teams that didn't flourish back in the day flourish now. So.
Well, let me ask you this: if you had to, I started to tell David do this, I did, but I didn't. I should have. If you had to fill out a bracket, would you think your bracket would have been right, or based on what your predictions you had winning and losing? You think you was more right than wrong?
Now, overall, I would have Hephzibah coming out of it. You know, I really would.
No, I'm talking about like
but before I seen it, how it turned out. Yeah, what you say without them, with them in it. Yeah.
You felt like Lenny would have won it all anyway.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I was looking forward to Richmond pulling it out. Seeing how Laney did have guys in shape and you look on paper, you like, yeah, that could be a problem. But you had guys that on Richmond who seemed like, they playing, they got size too, they got speed, and you know, and Christian, shout out to Lil C, you know. But other than that, man, like I was thinking Richmond was gonna pull it off, to be honest.
I didn't. Of course, I'm a Butler fan, so I wasn't thinking that. They did pull Butler off though, easy seemingly.
I had y'all in there. I had y'all coming out the first round at least.
See, I feel like I said, some schools came and you could tell by the score, honestly, who came to really take it all. You know what I'm saying? I do think Butler wanted to win. They want to lose. Yeah. But I don't know if they wanted to win the whole tournament. Yeah. Because I don't think them guys.
Well, hopefully, if you in it, you in it to win it all. Hopefully, but you know.
But it depends on your roster though. Like you said, you got some people that actually got real lives. They got kids that got stuff, so they're like, I can play one game, cool.
Don't be out there if you can't. Don't be out there if you can't balance it out.
That's how I feel. I want every game to be competitive. Like even like an overtime championship game, you can't beat that. Yeah. I didn't pay no money to get in. I would pay money to
overall.
To do it
again. And then overall, you that's good. That's good basketball to see, especially with it being in the summer. And just, you know what I'm saying, you're like, oh, you know, I want to see my favorites come out. You know, like it's a good thing. But
I just think that overall was good basketball. The event wise, it was dope too, of course. But I just feel like we get to see, you know, like people still actively talk trash to each other.
Yeah.
So now it's not y'all right now. What you said, you got that tasting mouth probably because y'all right now still have that if conversation.
Yeah. My trash talking won't come till it's on the floor.
Ain't no other people, ain't no other teams having that if conversation because we just had this if.
Exactly.
So we got like 6-7 months before we have other ifs talk again. So
exactly.
I think that was dope. But I'm looking forward to Hephzibah being the next one, or not even the next one, but just the homecoming. I'm looking forward to that. I do think Hephzibah will play y'all because I feel like they got a bad taste in their mouth as well. And I feel like that'd be a good testing point because I don't think they want to go a whole year with losing.
Yeah,
but then again, they could come to Hephzibah. I don't know.
That's how it was for us. You know, Laney put us out here before, and then we lined up with Cross Creek, and that panned out in our favor. But you know, this year we coming different, and hopefully it does work out to where we play Glen Hills. So.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this much, man. I definitely respect you, your craft, and just the conversation we had. You didn't come on here and disrespectful tip. I know that people probably felt that way.
Yeah.
But I do feel like it was dope that everything could be resolved before we had a certain conversation.
Yeah, because the subliminals of me being emotional and disrespectful, that's just not my stilo. Like, if I have an issue, I'm gonna do my best to hash it out first. Cause I'm not about, I'm not just different, But overall, when it's basketball, like when I challenged Christian, it's just to see where he was at. I felt it. As a competitor, I got to eat it. He said I can spin the block again. Hopefully when if he has time, we'll do it again. It don't have to be on video, but just that as an example, it's just at all. Right. Like I don't care who in front, So he caught me in a bad moment. No excuses, but I think I redeemed myself playing George 1-on-1 and kind of showed a little bit that I ain't just a shooter.
Oh, here you go with that Glen Hills tight.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. Like, they want promotion. I help promote, man. But it's coming. I just want them to know to let Rail and get in shape, man. Get in shape, and hopefully Reggie will be there too, cause I look forward to be very competitive.
Nah, man, definitely a shout out to you, man. I'm looking forward to seeing something. I want to see some more games. That wasn't enough for me this week. I need more. So shout out to y'all. Hopefully y'all in the next one. But homecoming, I'm coming there. Kurt, I want to see you play. Don't miss, don't break.
Oh yeah.
You was on a podcast, so I'm coming to watch you too now. You got to show me your shooting. All right.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, man. Morning Mass Podcast. We out.